interesting person, Phil Lamourex, with your host, Kevin Schoen, and Larry the Band, and me, Sexy Hermit.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Schoen, and this is Interview with an Interesting Person. Tonight we have Mr. Phil Lamourex.
Hey, glad to be here.
Well, so what makes you interesting?
Well, I'm a very dogged person who's working for the community good, trying to bring a tropical garden biodome to the local area as a replacement for the old butterfly house.
I've heard about this tropical, the Biodome for a number of years. This one guy, Jeff. You know Jeff?
Oh yeah, I know Jeff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's our community liaison.
Okay. So the Biodome is going to be this dome that you guys are working on designing and potentially building on the Michigan State University campus, is that right?
Yep. It's decided to go in next to Shaw Hall.
Okay, Shaw Hall. Okay. So there used to be a butterfly house. Tell me about that.
Okay. Once upon a time, there was a large 22,000 square foot greenhouse that had been left behind the old horticulture building when the horticulture department got the new crop and soil science building. Mm-hmm. And when that sat there, officially abandoned, botany, which had a very small greenhouse just across the street, kind of moved in, started growing orchids.
Yep.
Put in a butterfly house about 900 square feet, which they were enlarging to 1,500 square feet.
So the original one was that, you said it was 20,000 square feet?
22,000.
22,000.
It wasn't even fully utilized.
They
had put in a tropical area, a subtropical area. They had put in, which had a fish pond. Mm-hmm. It was very elaborate.
We have a picture of it up on our screen coming up here, and this is an example that you guys. Tell me about this example you created. This projection. It's like a diorama, but it's still like a room-sized diorama almost.
Right.
Yep.
So this is half a football field in size. Now we're looking at a 5-foot model of it at the moment.
Right.
But the idea is that it'll be 150 foot across, 75 foot tall.
Yep.
Because it's round, it has the ability to accommodate much more contouring and dynamic range than the old square little rectangles of the previous one.
Okay. So this is going to be kind of a Buckminster Fuller kind of geodesic dome.
Yep. And a geodesic dome is wonderful for a couple of reasons. First, the larger it gets, the taller it gets, and it doesn't need any supports to hold it up.
Interior supports, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's what's called a live structure. It could arch over half a football field with literally like a 3-inch wall. I mean, just tremendously butterfly-like. And then the other thing is that it lets in a lot more light because the panels are much larger. And like I say, we get the tall space. We get up to 75, 80-foot tall trees in the center. Mm-hmm. So you literally have a forest with canopy and understory and all the rest. Okay,
so describe to me where this is at from a planning standpoint on Michigan State University's campus and how that's all coming together.
Okay, we've been working with infrastructure and planning for the last couple of years to do a PCA, which is a preliminary cost assessment. We're scheduled to go back and meet with Satish Utpa, who has moved into the position of interim president.
Okay.
He's the person with Wolfgang Bauer who was in charge of all the solar panels on the South Campus parking lots.
So Wolfgang Bauer, I know that name from somewhere. He used to run the telecom. Didn't he run the telecom?
I think he was in physics or something.
Physics, okay. Yep.
But so anyway, these are the guys who we met with a couple years ago. They said, okay, we want better cost numbers. Our numbers, we want vetted. Yours are from 2004, and they don't seem very on spot. So we went through and we worked out through codes and got the fire suppression system and the rainwater harvesting and the transparent solar panels and everything priced into the whole package.
Okay.
So and then we're headed back to go meet with him and deliver the results of this 2-year-long endeavor.
And so have you come up with, how far are you through the budgeting analysis phase at this juncture?
I would say that's probably the very next step.
Okay. And so you have, you're trying to raise some funding for under Kickstarter to help get some funding to do the engineering or architectural,
Right. That's
the preliminary stuff.
That's exactly that. So,
Okay.
In the very many step approval process, the
Right.
next step would be approval to plan.
Right.
For that, we would need to show that we're sort of cash ready. We have like $20,000 already in a development fund account. The next 15, which the goal we reached this morning.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're already past that and moving into some extra percentages. But
Okay.
with those two monies together, we have a position where we're cash ready to be able to pay for a bunch of man hours.
Yep.
Down to infrastructure planning facilities for them to do soil analysis and cores and contract initiation and blueprints and all that sort of engineering analysis you just said.
So the Kickstarter page, tell me a little bit about that.
Is that the right one, Phil?
Yeah.
Yep, that is it, and it is beautiful. I am myself astounded. No, so I am just the faculty advisor sort of for this student registered organization.
Yep.
And the whole Kickstarter page was put together by the students. They did the video, which I find to be just astounding. It's 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and it just is so professional. It's just amazing.
Right.
I was astounded when I saw it. And then it's just loaded with information. They got these renderings that they spent 6 months learning this program called Blender to
Yep.
be able to do. So we've had a scale model in the past that has some very lifelike pictures, but they thought that even those could be topped if they, did what they spent all this time doing. So they got these beautiful images they worked on, and honestly, people say sometimes Kickstarters are a little sketchy. They're
Right.
talking about things that people want to put into businesses and entrepreneurship, and then they go to our page and we just clobber them with info.
Yep. So you raised about 15,290 so far.
Yep.
Okay, and your goal was 15 or was it 20? Okay,
Yep.
So you reached your goal, and then
Well, we do have a stretch goal of 25.
of course.
So if everybody actually gets in there, even if you put in just $1, and we make the 25, everybody gets a big old poster that we've got of the tropical jungle in the Biodome.
Yep. Well, cool. Okay, let's. I got some more detailed questions I'd like to ask in the second session,
Okay.
and so I really appreciate you coming here. But stay tuned for the second session, everybody.
Okay.
I'm Kevin Schoen. This is Interview with an Interesting Person, and this is Phil Lamourex, student Biodome project. Is that what we call it?
It's a student greenhouse project or student biodome project. We have a DBA for the biodome project.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yep.
great. Okay, student biodome project on Kickstarter now. This is Interview with an Interesting Person. right. You ready?
Yeah.
Tonight on an interview with an interesting person, part 2 of Phil Lamourex, with your host Kevin Schoen, Larry the Band, and me, Sexy Hermit.
Bill, welcome back, man. Student Biodome, man.
Yeah.
So, you've raised your $15,000. You're going for a little bit more.
Yep.
So we should keep people going at it if we can.
Yep. Roaring for 25.
Kickstarter, Student Biodome,
Yep.
Michigan State University, built near Shaw Lane, where the projected possible location would be near Shaw Lane.
Right.
And Michigan State University. And so this is a student project, but mentored by Phil Lamourex as kind of like the faculty, Yep. And so, okay, we went over kind of like the fundraising process and the interactions with the university. I mean, it sounds like a pretty good deal when the guy you were dealing with, Satish, he has now become the interim president.
Yeah, we find that a positive advance.
It's always good to, be in the know. And, it seemed like who knows what could happen, but there's a possible good chance he might end up being a permanent president. Who knows? But
he would make a very good one.
Yes.
Yeah, he's super technical, and he knows a lot, and he's been actually the vice president for executive services for a number of years now.
So, question on the underlying engineering, the science, the plants and stuff. Dude, you should see my living room.
Okay.
I'll take you in there because I have all kinds of plants. I want to make my whole house a greenhouse, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Back to nature and stuff like that. And so, tell me about some of the technology and the planning and kind of like the new age, kind of like solar stuff and all that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to key off of your beautiful living room full of plants.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The point is that everyone should have a nice green space,
Right.
but this would be the whole community's giant green living room.
Right.
So that we'd all get together in something that you can't quite have in your own living room, which is a 14-foot waterfall,
Right.
and all the curving paths with the thick plants and the sort of around the bend mystery, and then maybe some mist, and then the performance area where there could be a Romeo and Juliet thing where Romeo comes out of the bushes stage right, and Juliet appears at the top of the cliff face through the bushes up there and everything. So it's designed to really...
In the nude?
I didn't say that.
I was thinking Adam and Eve. You were throwing me an Adam and Eve scene. I don't know. Okay.
There is some touch of Eden here, no doubt.
Right. Yeah.
So the beauty is to have everybody have an opportunity to immerse themselves in nature again, particularly during our winters, particularly during the school year, which is almost all winter.
Right.
I mean, there's a little bit of colorful fall in the beginning, and then students are gone before the buds break in the spring.
I went to the art museum, and you know what? The busiest place in the art museum, it's in the little glass atrium.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
where people can sun. That's exactly
people
it.
can sun, and it was yesterday it was about 28, 25 degrees out, and it was freezing. I biked there, and I was like, okay, I'm going to stop by here for a nice little, this little spot. That would be perfect for that.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, because of the passive solar features, we've got a whole bunch of this designed to point at the sun.
So it's going to be glass,
Yes.
and then the sun will come in there, and it'll warm up the whole thing, and the hot air will stay in there, and a lot of humidity.
Oh, yeah, a lot of humidity, a lot of warmth and aromas, a lot of earthy smells, and little things running around, little lizards, little birds, and like the rock face cliff.
I got a question. Maybe this is a little bit off.
Sure.
Center. Are you going to have worms? Are they going to crawl through the dirt and stuff?
I assume that we will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about
Did you know
that.
worms were an invasive species?
Really? What do you mean?
Yeah, they were actually brought here by the original settlers, and they've been crawling their way across the whole continent from the East Coast.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I just learned that myself recently. It's like, oh, yeah.
Is that like a Eurasian earthworm of sorts? Or
Well,
something?
actually, we're having a counter invasion with Asian ones now that seem to be a little more, if you can imagine this between earthworms, a little more vicious.
Now,
Back to this.
Do you think there's going to be any birds in there?
We have definitely planned hummingbirds. Now, see, when the work the group consists of, consist of different teams. There's a flora and fauna team, there's an outreach team, there's an engineering team, visualization, and so forth. And so the plan from the past, as a broad brushstroke, was to have hummingbirds.
Right.
I'm being told that to begin with, we'll have hummingbird moths.
Right.
Which are a little bit smaller than a hummingbird, but flap real crazy, and they're great pollinators, because we will have to get more stuff grown up in there to be able to support even a few hummingbirds with the nectar plants.
Of course, yeah.
So it is a living thing. It will be a changing thing, and it will grow and transform over time. And like I say, eventually 75 foot of trees and understory and everything.
Yep. Well, which will take a little while to grow. It's kind of like the the Frederick Meyer Gardens in Grand Rapids, right? Same kind of a mindset. I just go there in the winter to check it out, and it's really awesome being inside and hanging out with all the plants and people roaming around.
Absolutely.
But and so the thought with this is, it's Michigan State University. We're a agricultural college at its beginnings, right? Michigan Agricultural College, and of course we totally want a jungle plant-like environment for the middle of the winter, dude. That's so awesome, man. And can you go swimming in the pond? I see you got a pond here.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good sized pond.
We probably can't go swimming in the pond, though, right?
It'll be 4 foot deep.
Okay.
It's intended not to, be too much of a drowning hazard.
Right.
Folks should keep an eye on their kids.
Okay. Yeah. If the kids fall in, well,
then you drag them back.
Yeah, you drag them
back
out.
Yeah. So it'll have lily pads, fish and frogs. They've even figured out a turtle that won't dig through the liner and spring leaks on us. So
okay.
We got some turtles planned for on the log sort of scenes, and we did a 3,200 person survey and found out that people were definitely interested in seeing activity and animal life in there, as well as all the plants growing and changing over time.
So a question is, how many people could, what would be the fire code for the maximum occupancy? Have you roughed that out at all?
Yeah, we've got that set at about 200 to 220.
Okay.
It depends on, certain functions. We have a 36 by 28 room that's a big community room. You can have a lot of people in there at certain points. We have a 3-tiered rock amphitheater, which is backed up against that. And then we have lots of little turnouts, like 8 or 9 of them, that are about 10 foot across. In my small place, that's as big as my living room almost. And then we got down at the pond and a lower falls and an upper falls and a spring and an overlook that are even a little larger than that.
Like there's the interior floor plan on your Kickstarter page, right?
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Yep. And wow, that's awesome, man. And so after you had it, the first 15,000 or 20,000 that you're seeking to raise, that's going to help create the budget, the anticipated initial engineering to figure out, how much is this whole shebang going to cost?
Yeah, it's the ground payment to get more of the fine design work done, more of the tightening up all the possibilities and stuff. So on top of the dome itself, one of the things that came out in the last phase was we will have a north exterior building.
Right.
Because they were saying first, the restrooms can't be in here because you'd have to have like a stovepipe out of the dome for ventilation, and that significant electrical and mechanical equipment would not do well in the highly moist environment. And so all those different sort of features went into a north building to, kind of make sure they have the necessary longevity for high-priced equipment like that. We have to have air injection going into the dome during the winter. In the summer, it actually is a passive solar sort of cooling system where the air comes in around the bottom vents, and with an assistive top fan at the top and open vents up there, all of the evaporation from the pond and the misting system and the plants keeps it like 8 to 10 degrees below outdoor temperature.
Jungle-like!
Yeah, it's still warm, but if it's 90 out there, it's maybe 80 in here.
Awesome, dude. Phil, I wish you all the success in the world and your group, the Student Biodome Project. Check it out on Kickstarter.
Yep.
And on Facebook, too. How do you get to it on Facebook?
Well, actually, if you want to find it on Kickstarter,
Yep.
you got to go to Kickstarter, and then it's Build the Biodome. So
Build the Biodome.
Search for Build the Biodome. That'll get it to you. Facebook, it's Biodome, the Student Greenhouse Project.
Awesome, man. Phil, thanks so much, man.
Yeah, wonderful seeing you here.
I'm Kevin Schoen with Interview with an Interesting Person. Got Phil Lamourex, Part 2, the Student Biodome Project.
Thank you.